2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5. Alright, time to find out. The beginning was pretty solid. By the way, I stopped doing colors because there were times when I was getting a color that completely screwed me up. Even if it wouldn't have actually screwed me up, it screwed me up in my head, which then I screwed up. So, are we all good with that start, or should we restart the timer? You had an 1810 charge flame? Oh, man. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. That's how I felt about my 4003 run, when it was just like I died that one time in Misty Woods. I killed 30 seconds. And once again, I pretty much have the same kind of horrible run here. What? I gotta be able to see the... This has gotten interesting. I have to be able to watch the run. Hey, Creaky Thread. So I gotta figure out a way of seeing the chat. And... There we go. I think now we're good. Okay, timer should be fine. Good. So the beginning's nothing to speak of. Pretty much the same stuff. What have you been up to, Creaky Thread? Been playing any more Ori? I'm interested to see what I got to the door. I think... Alright, sorry, if you have questions about the run, let me know, otherwise I'm probably gonna get stuck watching with you. Because I'm just as interested as everybody else, I think. And by that I mean not interested. Alright, so 213. So what? I was like 216, 217? By the way, this is a rarity. Since I recorded this offline and now I'm timing it online, it's one of the rare moments my timer is not 4 seconds behind. Because the video's not 4 seconds behind, the video's right on time with the timer. So I had to like turn off all my delay on stuff. Ooh, yeah, that was sloppy. That's probably the sloppiest I did all night. But you know what? I made it through it. That's what's funny about sometimes. Sloppy isn't necessarily that slow. Grand Theft Auto 5, huh? Whoa, get down there. I think that's one of the things, especially when you speedrun when you're new. You feel like everything has to be perfect, and it doesn't. It's just, you can't let too much go by. I should run it with Ike? Okay. We'll see how that goes. Ike's already on his way to double jump. Alright, so we're a second behind. That's not a good start. Thing is, I'm used to splitting kind of to sound, so it's gonna be a little bit awkward. You know, 1 second behind though is not a big deal. Guys, how disappointing is it gonna be if we get to the end of this and it's not sub 40? That would be once again, it's that Death and Misty. You know, all this goes pretty well though. I think this doesn't. This was really slow for me. I normally do that much faster. But I do think Frankie Walk in general went quicker than normal. Nocturnal, I would love to run this at AGDQ. I've had Devil's Scroll. I've had times where my in-game timer improved, but my overall time was slower. So, not too sure how. but it happened. But actually, I would love to run this at SGDQ, since that's what's coming up next. But I think, if this is sub 40, I think I'm going to shift my focus to Kalimba. So this is, I think this is weird right here, but it works out okay. Yeah, no, that wasn't weird at all. That worked out well. That was perfect. That's kind of how I hope Frankie goes through the tree. The save Walling's... The save walking stops in the game timer? I don't know. Why am I'm about to like push. Gotcha. Like if for some reason, like I walked. Like if I walked while saving. I know what you're saying. I'm just not able to alliterate what you're saying very well. So, so far this is all pretty standard. I'm gotten to a point where the Gauntlet and Frankie is all pretty smooth. Here comes my first test, which is the stupid one cycle of the Crushers, because I always screw it up. I can't do it. Rarely can I get it perfect, which means no damage. And sometimes even with 2 health, I still screw it up. But with 2 health, I should be okay to do it, but I still screw it up. And so that's the way I tend to do it, is with that damage boost, because I just can't. So if I only have 2 health a lot of times, or 1 health, a lot of times I'm kind of screwed. I need to get better at that, and I just don't know how to do it. You know, 341 solid. My fastest first split is 339. My fastest double jump is 728. Oh, I screwed this up. I open achievements. All right. Well, I saved 6 seconds, so we are ahead. And then I fall in the water here too, don't I? No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, well, that's fun. But that's still a good Frankie. That was a really good Frankie. Even with the bad menuing. Fortunately, I put my Xbox offline. Now that I think about it, I put my Xbox offline, and that means when I went to achievements, it didn't take a ton of time. It just took some time. Ooh. So even with the bad menuing, I was at 729. So I was only a second off my best. That's a good double jump for me. That is a really good double jump for me. And Nocturnal, I already forgot what you said. Don't worry about it. Oh, I got that first try. I never get that first try. So I figure I'm going to lose time on this split because of the bad menuing, falling in the water. So do you think we get to the tree about even? We probably do get to the tree about even. There are some failed to saves in this as well. The run before this, I got to the tree after Charge Flame, and I was doing really well there too. Probably a little bit better in this. I should time that just to see. But the console crashed on me. Ooh, I went on 1 jump. I never do that. I always take a safety jump. I always go on 2. I got ballsy. So at least nothing crashed. Ultimately, that's all that matters. Because it didn't crash. So basically, Creaky, I have been mindlessly trying to get this to be sub 40. That was sloppy. I got it to 40.03 and pretty much lost my mind. That's probably as quick as I've ever done that, so that's good. Which you can watch that video. That video was done live, and I'm screaming and like mashing my controller. But that's what I've been up to, and playing a little Kalimba. I need to get back to playing Guitar Hero, but now that it's been a while, it's kind of hard for me to like mentally get back into playing Guitar Hero. So let's see if this is sub 40. If it is sub 40, then I can relax and then like casually play this game again. Almost forgot to split. Alright, so I lost 9 seconds on that split, so we're 4 seconds behind. Up and down, up and down. Look at this. Yeah, guys, don't let me forget to split. So I was trying to do the teleport. Oh yeah, okay. I'm not gonna be too worried about that devil squirrel. If I can get, I think I could get sub 39 if I clean up and don't screw up things. I think I could easily get sub 39. Because I think my sum of best is gonna be below that. Whew, I got fortunate there. But like, I don't think I'm gonna struggle for a sub 39 just because I'm on Xbox. It would be awesome. I mean, I would like that, but you know, it's hard because like I want to talk to like Coco Stern and just be like, hey, is there no way you guys can make it like in the definitive edition? Like one of the updates is that if you have an Xbox, you can turn off the UI, because that would make me very happy. I would be a very happy man if I could turn the UI off. I don't think I got a good cycle here. Yeah, screw that thing. I think I shouldn't have jumped. If I hadn't jumped, I think it would have showed up in the middle. Which would have saved some time, but whatever. Oh, you know what? I failed this right here. I'm not sure. You probably could. Like, you think you could turn the UI off on Xbox if you had, like, a keyboard to put those inputs in? Is what you're saying? That would be awesome. Come on, door. Oh my... Alright, well... Ladies and gentlemen, we are at Bash... exactly even with my 40.03, so... When I say that this run was pretty much the same as my 40.03, like, it felt the same. I did the whole thing with no timers, so it just... you have to go by feel. Yeah, I screwed that up. Like, oh, well that sucks. Here's some time... This is some pretty significant time loss, really. So I'm probably gonna leave. I'm probably gonna get to stop behind, and then maybe make that time up to Charge Flame. Although I feel like I screwed Charge Flame up too. Like, look how sloppy this is. When I see this, I'm starting to think it's not sub 40. So I also had a really good run going and had a bad bash destroy it right here. However, not this time. I can never get this when I'm doing a good run too. So this is like 4 seconds lost right there because I can never get that corner jump. I have like an interesting core skip because it just does not go the way I plan it. It doesn't go the way I plan it, but I recover pretty easily. I don't remember what happens. I don't remember how it goes wrong. Let's see. That's fine. Oh, that's where it went wrong. Yeah, it wasn't like clean, but it still wasn't like super slow. I think I have a really good escape though for me. This is interesting. Don't let me forget this split it stomp. Because if I forget to split it stomp, guess what? We got to watch it all again. I don't think we want to watch this multiple times. Alright, so I do get the spider ball. Spider ball. Oh, this is like super close. Oh, I guess it wasn't that close at all. This is a pretty clean escape. So I don't get that in the cycle where it's the best, but it's not bad. So I think I got out of the tree around like 740 in my PB. Maybe it was 720. Because I just got out at 720. I can't see me being ahead. I can't see me being ahead at Stomp. If I'm ahead at Stomp, that's going to be like amazing. So I have 20 seconds to get up there. 24 seconds. Let's be close. Well, that was bad. All right. I saved 4 seconds. Alright, well. Like, I shouldn't be nervous because like I said, the in-game timer says it's a PB, so I feel like I should be okay. I screw this up. There's like plenty of time to save on this. And I screw this up. Not this. This isn't my fault. That's just a failed to save. I can't control that. How do I screw this up? I forget. I know my speed bashes aren't quick over here. But there's something else. Oh, okay. I failed breaking the ground right before Charge Flame. So I lost some time to that. Like, that could have been faster, but I didn't die or get a bad bash, so. But I failed to get the break the ground, and then I had to, like, coax the frog down, so that cost me quite a bit of time. But all this goes pretty smooth. Like, this is how I want this section to go. since I have to get 5 health. If you look at my PB, there's a lot of weird things like 21-21. Chicken Run is 37-37. So I think I was actually pretty stoked at this point because I knew I'd save time. And I was like, don't screw up. And then I kind of forgot where I was going and what I was doing. I'm like, why am I going over there? That makes no sense. If I miss it again by like 1 second. So right here, it's too far over. And then I was trying to get the frog to come. And I was like, wait, it's not? Come on. Come on, there we go. So that was awkward. Oh, timer. Alright, so I lost time, but not much. But it's all because of that frog. I could have saved a couple seconds. Oh man, I screw up. I'm just thinking of all the places I screw up. I'm not too sure how this didn't work, to be honest. You'll see what I'm talking about. So remember, I need to save 4 seconds. And I'm only saving 3.8 at the moment. So this right here. I thought I had this, and then it just didn't give it to me. I was like, wait, what? And then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And then screw up, and then I'm all the way back down here. So that was not good. I feel like a lot of times a lot of my movement is super solid. This is scary. Holy crap, what was I doing? A lot of my movement's super solid, and then I just make stupid mistakes. The bird, like, do you see that? The bird went in the wrong direction. The bird got dizzy and confused. Like, this didn't go very well. Because I hit my head, but it gave me a spider ball to help out. Alright, we're back to 4 seconds. Now, once again, I could have saved a ton of time here on Wall of Shame and Sorrow Bash. If I Wall of Shame cleanly and I Sorrow Bash first try, I can save like 30 seconds. Spoilers, I don't. So I'm pretty much like, this run is pretty much on par with my previous run. So I screwed this up right at the beginning. Like, womp womp. Womp womp. And then I just can't do this right now. I've got some sort of like... I've got some sort of blockage with this right now, which is super frustrating. It's not hard to do, but I just have like this mental block when I get to it. And then that was awkward, so this is so slow. And I actually thought I had this, and I don't remember. I think the bird hits his head, and I don't catch him, and that caused me. So you gotta do it again. Gotta do it again. But with second try, my PB as well. I bet I get to charge jump fairly even. Oh, that's sloppy. Jeez. Wonderful Xbox moments. Only have 1 health. I actually thought I was going to die there. I barely didn't. So I normally don't make it into that crack first try, which is nice. Yep, still D-padding it. I've started not to D-pad it when I'm not actually doing a run, but I'm still too chicken to like not D-pad there. I actually think, I don't know. So let's find out where we're at. Oh, I saved 3 seconds? Hey, 3 seconds is 3 seconds. So even with it being as bad as it was 3 seconds not as bad as my PB. So this next split to climb is going to be super good. This right here is where, like, I have a really good, like, this will probably be gold. I have a feeling this will be gold and we'll save, like, 30 seconds or so. Maybe even more. But then, don't get your hopes up, because I die in the next split. And I die because I'm an idiot. I was fine, but I kind of freaked out. I freaked out a little bit. That always helps. Spoilers. What, you don't want spoilers? Fine. You already know it's spoilers. I just didn't want you to get all excited about my time. So normally normally the Xbox holds up before you can fall down. I've never had it hold up there near the lasers, and like that freaked me out because I thought I was gonna get lasered. Now I never do this. I never stop there, but I did. So here's one of those times. All right, so the swag bash off the Ibuki Lantern is great. But here's the problem. Xbox. So... And then I just totally screwed that bash up. But, you should be able to get to that frog off that lantern bash, but I can't do it sometimes because sometimes it will load in and sometimes it won't. So you just gotta you gotta work with what you got, I guess. I make it very interesting through here. I keep taking damage places I normally don't. Dang Xbox. So I think I've gotten that swaggy old bash like once before, prior. So that felt good to get that in the run. So like this doesn't go well at all for me. Like so I was scared off my freaking gourd right here, and I almost hit those spikes like 8 times. I almost hit those spikes so many times. Or if that Frank would have hit me, oy, oy, oy. $43 seconds, so now I'm 50 seconds up. Alright, I'm starting to feel better. This doesn't go well either for some reason. That's probably a bad bash, but it's hard to tell. I was just like, don't let that thing kill me. Now, I know you can bash off that Frank, but I don't like to do it when I only have 3 health. Because I sometimes hit those spikes if I get a bad bash, so... Alright, I'll explain to you how I'm dumb here in a second. This is pretty much a given if you're using a controller. They give you this bash coming up. But you have to have your hand on the D-pad. So if your hand's not on the D-pad... Because, like, I freaked out because I've never hit that. And look, my hand's not on the D-pad. And dead. If my hand's on the D-pad, I survive that. So I think basically what I was up when I got to charge jump will be what I'm up for like the rest of it. See, look, use the D-pad. Not an issue. It's alright. I get something for the first time coming up. Not for the first time ever, but the first time in a run. That was weird. That scared the crap out of me. Fortunately, these spikes only do 1 damage. Ugh. Now I gotta do this. Can't touch anything. That's clutch. I could have panicked. Any part of here I could have panicked. And that would have been my sub 50 if I panicked. Ready for it? First time in a run. 1 cycle. So that saved me a little time. That 1 cycle might be the difference between sub 40 and not. So I only lost 37 seconds. Ugh. So basically that's about what I lost. In my PB, it's just I did everything else slightly better, it looks like. Well, there was another Xbox moment where I basically lose all my momentum because of the console can't keep up. That's awesome that you found those bashes. Those bashes are my favorite things. They're not hard to do. It's just when you're like super amped, you screw things up like that. When you're super amped, you just kind of do stupid things. So like that screwed me up a little bit. Didn't screw me up for a Terra jump, though. Just wasn't going to get it, though. Oof. So I only got one of the energy there, which stinks. It means I'm going to be like one energy short than I would like to be. So that means my lava worm battle has to go perfectly. Because I don't take this energy and save there because I think it's a waste of time. And I take the energy in the other spot because I have to wait for the Xbox to load in, so it just makes sense to... Now, I try really hard. Hey, Quint, how's it going? I try really hard not to get a bad bash here every time. And I still, every time, do that. I think so. I think this is the sub 40. As you can see, I still have a ton of time I could save, but... It's going to be really close. I think it's only going to be by 8 seconds. So now I have to have a good worm battle because I only get 2 of these. So I need that help. And I landed it, so I'm good. Yes, 8 seconds is still sub 40, so... Yay! The not entering. Woohoo! Alright, let's see how I'm looking going into the last... Okay, I'm 10 seconds. Okay, I read that wrong. I thought my segment was where my actual run was. I thought it was 2 seconds over. Alright. It really does. I'm telling you, I just want to talk to Coco and be like, look, load area is fine, but at least give me the ability to take the UI off. Give me that 30 seconds back. At least give me that 30 seconds. I think I have a pretty decent escape, so... Except for bashing in the wrong direction. No salt, Quint. No salt, definitely. I would be very happy if you beat my time. I'm very supportive of other runners. Like, it's less... Like, it's less of... Like, right now... So, Devil's calling for 39.47. So, right now... Red Rum's ahead of me at 15, and I'm at 16. This won't catch her, but it's like, I'm not worried about her. Like, it's less about her and more about me, right? The 30 seconds will always bother me, regardless of whether you catch me or not, Quint. This is definitely sub 40. And time. 39.48. You were off by a second. You do not understand how, like, the last 2 weeks I have been, like, killing myself to get this sub 40. And I did it. And I did it even dying in Misty. Quint. Thank you, Quint. I appreciate it.